All right, welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we're going to talk about metaphors.
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 Ah, yes.
As opposed to semaphore. Okay, so metaphors.
Yeah,
if we had known we were going to do that joke, we'd had some flags ready to go.
Exactly.
These are rather impromptu.
Well, we should probably read Wuthering Heights first, don't you think?
And semaphore. Or maybe not all this lamp.
Yes, there you go.
Okay. Gary, we've been getting comments about Trump and his microphone and doing weird stuff. Now, we did go looking for the video, but the 4-minute clip that we saw didn't show anything unusually sexual with the microphone.
Yeah, he was just visually frustrated with the microphone, which was odd because it seemed like the microphone was working perfectly fine.
Right, but some folks in the background were chanting, "No, fix the mic." I couldn't understand what they were saying. Then he finally figured it out, and then he went on a rant about how hard he works and the microphone's not working and he's not going to pay the contractors. And I'm sitting there saying, bring your own damn microphone, you cheapskate. Go buy the 10 of the nicest microphones you can imagine. You won't have that problem ever again. But why when you can blame somebody else for your problems? But more, what's been interesting, I was mentioning to Gary, is the metaphor of it.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the crowd. They're no longer hearing his message. And the message is, it's like, they're talking about his message wasn't coming through clear, and they're letting him know that they don't like his message and he needs to change the message so that they are happy again. Now, that's not exactly true because you're talking about volume. Maybe he's breaking in and out.
Yeah, it could be.
But metaphorically, the message isn't getting across and they want to hear his message. So they're goading him into doing something that raises his ire to do that. But it's kind of a thing where he hears the audience and he changes his message. He changes how he does things, so his audience stays engaged with his verbal messaging. And then we started taking it further. You brought up...
Yeah, so from a metaphorical standpoint... like, for example, when he was talking about the firing squad with Liz Cheney, and he was like, it's not enough to have 9 barrels pointing at her. There have to be 9 barrels pointing at her face, right?
And then it's like, what is a face to people? Face is like, it's your identity,
right?
People recognize you by your face. They recognize you.
What you stand for.
What you stand for. There's like, you have memories with that face. So it's almost as if he doesn't like your face, he wants to remove your identity. If you don't agree with him, like Liz Cheney, or heaven forbid you oppose him, you're an enemy, and he would remove your face. He would remove your identity. Don't believe me? Ask anybody in the LGBTQ community.
Exactly. And then there was a whole incident with the garbage truck, which, is what a metaphor for his whole campaign and messaging.
The only thing was it wasn't on fire.
Didn't you do that with your...
I had dumpster fire.
That's one of your thumbnails.
But watching him try... if you didn't see the clip, you should watch him try to get into the garbage truck. It's almost like he can't see. He was reaching for the handle, and he was about 2 feet short, 3 feet short.
Yeah, he missed twice to try and open the handle. It's just like it was weird. It's like, oh my God, he can't open the damn door. And I think on the third try, he finally was able to get to the handle and open the door, and then hoist himself up into the truck.
I was going to say, I'm getting a bit of a hit with that. This is like the Linda G moment. A bit of a hit. And it's personal experience. When I had my wisdom teeth taken out when I was in college, my mom was, I got put under. It was a general anesthetic and came out and went out to my mom's car. And I reached for the handle and I couldn't reach it. It was about a foot or 2 feet away. And I reached for it a second time and I couldn't understand why I couldn't reach the handle. Turns out I was in a wheelchair and had no idea I was in a wheelchair. I thought I had walked down with Mom to get into the car. And I think Trump is drugged up. It's just that was the hit. It's like, for me to miss something like that, and I was,
you're 18,
19, 20 years old, I couldn't reach the handle because I was drugged out of my mind and coming out of anesthesia. I'm wondering if, whatever cocktail that, for entertainment purposes only, that Dr. Ronnie Jackson concocts for Donald Trump, it might impact, like, his spatial awareness and stuff like that. It keeps him more mentally acute, but there's, everything has a cost.
Yeah.
I mean, his eyesight doesn't seem to be that bad, so it's not like it would be a depth perception thing where you don't have your glasses on, you can't tell. Me too. I had my eyes surgically altered several years ago. But yeah, when you're nearsighted, everything past like 3 feet, 4 feet in front of our face is fuzzy, and you lose all depth perception.
Yeah.
Impossible to drive because you don't know how fast you're coming up on anything.
Yeah, try playing water polo when you can't see.
Which is why I didn't.
But that's why it wasn't very good. And then the final one was his messaging to women is like, I don't care what they think. I'm gonna protect them anyway,
whether you like it or not. Said like every stalker ever.
Yeah.
To a woman, you're gonna love me whether you like it or not. Yeah. You know what I mean? You'll learn to love me.
It's like the higher beings are really shining the spotlight. The sun card should come out in this read, right? Yeah. They are showing him for who he is.
Right.
There's absolutely no excuse at this point, folks. I mean, I'm speaking to the choir with our audience, but just in case this thing goes viral and we get a couple more Trumpers, which I did have to block a couple of Trumpers this week. But, guys, seriously, stop listening to it and just look at what's happening. And then tell me that it makes sense to you that someone who's convicted of 34 felonies, sexual assault, and is clearly mentally and physically debilitating, like imploding in front of your face, that this is the solution to make America great.
Exactly. And I did hear from Hawk on TikTok that the unedited Access Hollywood tape is making its rounds on TikTok.
Oh.
And a lot of young people, Gen Zers, for the first time, are hearing the Access Hollywood tape without any editing on it. And that is impacting voters. I just sent Michelle a picture of a graphic yesterday, my wife, again from TikTok. In Georgia, they were looking at voter demographics, and the 18 to 25-year-olds, they were showing it as a bar chart, and it goes up, peaks around age 50 to age 70, and then it drops down again. The 18 to 25-year-olds are voting more than the 25 to 30s, 35 to 40s. The same about the 45 to 50s is where the Gen Zers are right now.
Nice.
The young people are showing up.
Yep.
It's women and young people that are going to save this democracy and make this country amazing.
And we thank you.
Yes.
All right, so let's throw some cards.
It's not going to be old white guys like us. We're the problem.
Okay, so we're 8 minutes into this. We should probably throw some cards because I know there's going to be some people in the comments waving their arms at me.
All right, so I just want to do a general reading around metaphors. Spirit showing us metaphors with Donald Trump's behavior.
Okay, here we go.
So
for entertainment purposes only.
As they always are. Metaphorically speaking. Okay, what's with the metaphors? It's time to make a choice. Metaphors are kind of the subliminal way of getting the information across to people when they make their choice. And Kim from Intuit View in her 2024 year predictions was saying this is the year of David versus Goliath. This is the year of polarity where the light and the dark separate themselves. And no, there's not as much gray zone. So the choices you make are really going to speak to your character as a person. And it's what messages and values do you want to present going forward?
And take your time and think about it.
Yeah. And the other part with that is this is a gift from Spirit to point these things out just before election. Him talking about women, that he's going to be their protector whether they like it or not. He can't get into a garbage truck. A simple act that he ridicules other people when they have some type of handicap. Talking about shooting his political opponents.
Yep.
Beyond just the violent rhetoric or incompetence is the subtle messages underneath. And with the 4 swords underneath here, it's that it's the subliminal messaging. The messaging that sort of permeates your brain when you're in that twilight zone between awakened sleep.
Yep.
The messaging is getting across. In the past, you have the Nine of Coins. If you're looking at this as choices here, one is the pursuit of wealth, comfort, luxury. The other is defending women's rights or the rights of others. Whether it's women, the LGBTQ community, young people, minorities, people who aren't basically white Christian males.
Yeah.
Or straight.
What do you value?
What's a good reading without the hillbilly brawl card?
Exactly.
Current situation is the Five of Wands. The battle is here. It is now the battle. Go out and fight for your rights. Fight for the rights of others. Vote for who you are. The energy is high on this planet right now. You might have felt it.
Yeah. Did anyone else notice that there's an election this year?
Yeah. How ironic. The overarching energy is the Nine of Swords. It's the anxiety. Now, that's interesting. It's the anxiety of what might happen if you don't win the fight.
Yep.
And both sides feel that anxiety. It's almost as if we are having a spiritual divorce from of light and dark. Mm-hmm. And dark doesn't know what it's going to do without the light. Light doesn't know what it's going to do without the dark. But light sure doesn't want the dark to take over, and dark doesn't want light to take over. Yep. It's a very stressful time. I think way too many words to say. It's a very stressful time. The lesson to be learned is the Empress. Lazy and entitled versus trying to make sure everybody's taken care of.
Yes.
Empress is also about pregnant women, so this is about women's rights. But it's not only just about women's rights, it's about everybody's rights. Mm-hmm. It's about making sure everybody has enough food, everybody has enough water, everybody has enough nature and shelter, everybody has enough comfort. Not for just a few people to have everything, and everybody else is a peasant rolling around in the mud.
This card is basically, there's enough abundance for all of us.
There's no lack.
Yes. It's not a zero-sum game here.
Yeah. And
if they win, you don't lose.
The outcome is the Hierophant. People, and this is going to be with the votes.
Yep.
All this thing is coming to a head. It's voting time. Who do you want your government to be? And not just the government, but the human collective. This goes beyond elections in 2024. This is a choice of the human collective and what people want to do as a species. Mm-hmm. Are we going to be supporting each other, or are we going to be selfish?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what your choices are, aren't they?
And the subliminal messages are just, they're underscoring and reinforcing that messaging.
I'm only disappointed the star card or the sun card didn't come out, because
maybe it will on yours.
Yeah, maybe. What am I throwing on?
I don't know.
Okay, well, how about which message is going to prevail?
Okay, fine.
You don't seem to be.
I have my biases, right?
That's the thing too. I had a Trump troll in the comments saying,
"Guilty as charged."
It's like, well, what would your reading be if you weren't biased? It's like I didn't even bother responding to him, because I responded to other people who ask legitimately about it. Interpreting the cards, there's a fine line between, intuition and bias. I mean, sure. they kind of live together, right? So it's, intuition, bias. They kind of look the same, they feel the same, they sound the same, but it's just trying to force yourself to be as objective as possible.
And it doesn't work at our age, but I would have said your mom.
Yeah. So it's...
What would you used to be if you wasn't biased? Your mom.
Yeah, so I know what I want to happen. I know what I feel is right and should happen. But it's really, really hard to separate bias from intuition. That's probably the biggest challenge with this.
Well, what we would call intuition, other people that disagree with it would call bias.
Bias, sure. I mean, there's readers out there that are saying Trump's going to win this election handily. And it's just like, just my intuition tells me that's not right.
Yeah.
My bias is screaming, no effing way. And that's the difference. Okay, so let's bring it down here. Which message is the light message going to come through? How's that?
Sure.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just moving this back a little bit.
there's a bunch of beautiful stones that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
People have been complimenting your stones.
Well, they shouldn't be looking at my stones. I'm a married man.
Yes, well,
of course I should cover up my stones too.
Well,
so they wouldn't be looking at them.
I've heard they're quite impressive.
Oh,
People's-
lies and fabrications, as Michelle would say.
So the foundation, once again, we've got the Empress. I'm asking, will the light prevail? It's like, look, there's enough for everybody here.
Yeah.
We don't need to be fighting over resources. We have plenty. Just, we kind of just need to get along and share. There's something for everybody. The cross is the hermit. We just have to find the path. Find that common ground so that we're not fighting anymore. We're sharing again. Underneath it, Wheel of Fortune. Hey, man.
It's your choice.
Perfect card, right? It's basically Spirit's like, I'm not going to tell you.
Well, it's free will. It's your free will.
Yeah,
choice.
exactly.
It's how much. It's not only if you share, how much are you going to share?
Yeah, and it's how is this election going to go? It depends on how you vote. It depends on if your value proposition is for the light and you vote light will triumph. If your value proposition is dark and fear and you vote darkness and fear, that may prevail.
Oh,
God, boy, we're pulling up some similar cards, aren't we? I should probably shuffle better. In the past, this was Dave's overarching energy. We got the Nine of Swords. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of anxiousness, which is anxiety, fear. The Nine of Swords is kind of something you bring on yourself. And what I'm going to point out is one of the commenters, and if you read the comments, you'll recognize the person, Acadian Proud. Acadian Proud always is sharing light and positive white light with us and the other commenters. And that's what counteracts this. We need to just stop with the anxiety, think positive, stay in the light. We'll get through this.
Mm-hmm.
The current energy is the Six of Wands. We can win. Victory is on the horizon for the light. I'll just keep it simple on that. I don't know next time.
come on, no, over-explain it.
The overarching energy is the Emperor. The Emperor, when we do a lot of readings, the Emperor seems to be Trump.
Yeah.
It's kind of, the Emperor is married to the Empress. She's very emotional. He is completely devoid of emotion. And I guess in spirit, it's like free will, there's no judgment. We judge ourselves. When we go cross the veil and go to this side, we're the ones that judge our own actions. And this is very matter of fact. This is what happened, and this is how you handled it.
And part of the problem that I see that's happening with society over the millennia is that you've had toxic masculinity. It's been not the divine masculine that's been ruling. It's been the masculine, the toxic masculine that's been ruling. This could be a reset where the divine feminine rises, leading to more of the divine masculine.
Yes. Because if you look at Trump, the misogyny just oozes out of his pores.
Oh, God.
I'm going to protect women whether they like it or not.
Said every stalker ever.
Yes. Liz Cheney, strong female. I'm going to shoot her in the face. It's just, if you've got a strong female, and Lord help her, she's a woman of color, he's going to go on the attack. He absolutely does not respect women.
No. And mind you, shooting somebody is bad enough, but shooting them in the face,
that's a whole level of disturbing.
That amplifies it 10 to 100 fold. It's not I dislike her. It's I want to remove.
I want to destroy her.
Yeah.
The lesson to be learned: Seven of Swords. You need to get out and vote. We don't want...
Get out and steal the vote. If you vote 7 times, please do.
Yeah. It's
Felonies be damned.
It's basically, as long as you're awake and keeping alert, the thief isn't going to get away with it.
And by voting 7 times, what I mean is vote once.
Yes.
You don't need to vote 7 times. Convince 5. If you and 2 friends can vote, and then convince 5 other people that voting for Trump's not in their best interest.
Indeed.
And steal those votes over to your side.
Trump is going to try and steal it. The dark is going to try and steal this election, right?
They've already started. They've been they're it's the same thing as 2016, same thing as 2020.
Yeah, I think I read something that Bannon already wants Trump to declare
victory
early.
Somebody, Cash Peters had a video went up today about, he was quoting some guy from Twitter about the 7 things that the Republicans are going to do to steal the election. And one of them was, that hasn't happened yet, was declare victory on election day. Yeah, the morning of the election day, or maybe after the polls close, he automatically will declare victory, and then,
Yeah, and then the Democrats will steal it, right?
Yeah, and then challenge it in court with baseless court claims, and then maybe try and block the peaceful transfer of power again.
Yeah, so the lesson here is they will try and steal it if you are asleep. But what I'd like to think is, right now, we're not asleep. We've seen this before. We are very aware of what they're doing, and I am positive Joe Biden is not sitting back and thinking, gee, I hope they don't steal the election this year like they did 4 years ago.
Yeah.
They've got systems and solutions in place to counteract this. Outcome is the Ace of Wands. Beautiful card. We are going to send forth a strong new message. That message is, we are not going back.
Nope.
So my question was, will the light triumph? The answer is absolutely.
Yes, in a big way.
Yeah. Yep. We're not asleep, and we are not. The divine masculine will overcome the just toxic masculine.
Wow, can you imagine that? 22 minutes already. Can't believe we did 22 minutes of readings. It feels like 14.
I know, really, huh?
I think we should end it here. I think the message got across.
Yeah, I think we pounded that one into the ground. Didn't we?
All right, thank you everyone for watching this video and supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely. If you like this, please give us a thumbs up. If you really like it, subscribe, and we will produce a new video every day at midnight Pacific time. And if leave a comment, I read every single one. I only block the MAGA crazy people, and I try and respond to as many as possible.
And then I sneak in and I unblock them, which is I thought I blocked this guy.
The only person I had to block that really wasn't MAGA was Mom when she was trolling us.
She like I said, she's got so many burner accounts.
It's incredible how many comments my mom makes. And it's usually just really nasty troll comments. I can't believe I carried you for 9 months. I got you, Mom. She's always giving herself away.
Exactly. Anyways, thank you again. Again, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. Hopefully you were entertained.
Yes. And if you don't like long intros, you definitely weren't entertained.
We'll put something in the title. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.